Friday Fitness on a Monday. Okay, so we're going to talk about my elbow. I don't know the name of what I hurt, but what happened is I was doing lateral raises, and of course, this section of the body wants to go that way, but there's a weight out here, and so this section of the body wants to go that way. This joint got fucked up. How that manifested was in some way across from the bicep to the radialis, because I would sometimes feel it, most often feel it in that muscle, occasionally feel it in the bicep. And what I couldn't do was pulling motions. I couldn't do any rows. I couldn't do pull-ups. I could do pushing motions just fine. That's how I know it's from the bicep across. Looked at just the most common elbow injuries and the exercises for them. And so I was looking at exercises for golfer's elbow and tennis elbow and shit like that. And what I've found so far that helps is wrist curls. And I found people doing them up and down. And when I've done wrist curls in the past to try and build up my forearms, I always like to put them on a rope grip so that the line of resistance feels equal at every part of the range of motion. And I also saw people doing radial movements. And I've also occasionally done radial movements with a pipe in my hand, this. And I'll take my thumb off. It's like, that's just a difficult thing to do. And you feel it in your bicep because that's what's causing the rotation of your forearm. What I saw people doing was this kind of overhand, what I would think of as overhand rotational stuff. And then I thought, well, I can put a rope grip on that too to improve that. And then, so those things don't cause any pain and they seem to help. And another thing that I came up with was, because that's all work for the forearm, I needed something for the bicep. I could feel this bicep kind of atrophying. But I can't do bicep curls because that's a lot of weight and a lot of strain on the joint at the most flexed part, the most stretched part. But this is where I thought of the downside of bands is that when you are at the longest stretch of your muscle and you pull a band towards you, the band is at the least amount of stretch and becomes the most amount of stretch. When your muscle is most contracted, it's most stretched, and vice versa. So you're losing out on the most valuable portion of a movement from a hypertrophy standpoint. What you want is the most weight at the most stretched portion, and then you move against that. But with a band and an injury, what you actually have is the safest possible way to do it. There's the least amount of strain on the muscle and the joint when the band is most relaxed, and then you increase that strain as you get into a safer position for yourself. So I've been doing bicep curls, like even partial range of motion, but still standing on a band, doing these kind of concentration curls, and just pumping some blood into the bicep and just feeling that area get some fluid and some nutrients. And I think I'm currently on the right track with that. I've also been, at the end of most workouts, although I frequently forget, just stretching my bicep for 2 minutes. And I tried some other stretches for the shoulder and everything like that, because there was a lot of talk I found about, just always looking up and downstream of the injured joint. What can you do? And so I did some shoulder exercises that were supposed to or potentially could help with an elbow injury. Can't say that any of them for sure helped. Can't say that any of them truly hurt. I could always work on my mobility in this shoulder as well, because this is my non-dominant arm. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this injury. Friday Fitness. Why these two fingers? What does that mean?